basis whether former President Trump can be federally prosecuted for trying to overturn the 2020 election results.
Special counsel Jack Smith asking the Supreme Court to quickly decide on the immunity claims, which would bypass any lower court decisions. Earlier this month, a U.S. district judge denied a motion from the former president's lawyers to dismiss his indictment on presidential immunity and constitutional grounds, leading him to appeal and ask for the case to be put on hold.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Trump attorneys have until next Wednesday to respond to the special counsel's petition. An announcement is expected today about Harvard University President Claudine Gay's future. She has refused to resign for not denouncing anti-Semitism on campus strongly enough.
Half of Harvard University's faculty, some 700 members, have signed onto a letter urging Harvard's governing boards to not fire Gay.
Fox's Brian Dennis. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real Talk starts now.
And right now is a TGIT day. I guess it is.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, at least it's not Monday.
Yeah.
I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And welcome into the Tuesday edition of Live and Local Real Talk Listening.
Always live.
And as you hear the 22 hours of the day, we're playing Christmas music up through Christmas.
Some great music.
Because we are your Christmas classic station.
Yes. Some good classic Christmas
it's good
music.
stuff. Really good stuff. So anyway, some weird on Sunday over in Duplin County.
Yes.
3 unrelated individual wrecks Sunday resulted in the deaths of 3 women.
Yes.
The wrecks were at different times in different parts of the county.
Well, the weather was bad. I believe it. I saw so many wrecks coming back from the mountains.
The Highway Patrol reports that all 3 women were in their 30s.
Oh, wow.
Coincidence, and coincidence, huh? The first crash came shortly after 5 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
5 a.m. On a Sunday. The driver, who was not wearing a seatbelt, didn't stop at an intersection and ran into a tree.
That'll do it.
What if alcohol played a role that early in the morning?
The first crash, the next crash came about an hour later. A second driver ran off the road, overturned, and struck a tree.
And what time was that during the day?
That was 6:40 or something like that.
So the rain wasn't here yet.
The final wreck happened about 6 p.m., just before 6 o'clock in the evening. A woman died when her car struck another truck head on.
Ooh.
The pickup truck was on the wrong side of the road.
Wow.
The 76-year-old driver was hospitalized, but will be charged with misdemeanor death once he's released, driving left of center and failing to wear his seatbelt.
How do you not put a seatbelt on?
It's this day and time. First of all, my Jeep would just raise enough cane that I would just...
That beeping will drive you crazy enough
right.
to want to put it on just to make it stop.
Yep.
I agree.
Anyway, that's tragic for 3 families there. Well, 4 families.
Very sad.
4 families.
Yeah.
Including the gentleman. He was hospitalized. I don't know his condition, but, head on, it can result in the death for somebody else is probably not going to leave you in great shape.
I agree.
So.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had seen the reports on that too. 3 in one day.
Yeah, in Duplin County.
Yes, in one county, right. I imagine HP stayed so
They were
busy.
they were making comments about that. That they don't ever remember. I don't remember a time having 3 separate fatalities that I had to deal with and go to here in Onslow. Or
I don't
New
remember
Hanover.
having 2 from separate incidents
Oh, I don't know.
in the same day.
I know I went to one that 6 people were killed in it, in one wreck out there near the near Baker's Cafe.
Oh,
Yeah, that was an awful one.
wow.
So, a New Bern man is in jail without bond after police say he raped a girl. Anthony Wilson was charged with statutory rape of a person 15 years of age or younger.
Oh, goodness.
New Bern police said they began their investigation on Friday after getting a report of a sexual assault of the child. The 36-year-old Wilson had his first court appearance yesterday in Craven County. My. This sounds like you just want to slap somebody.
Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%. And there's been an awful lot of that lately. Sexual assaults,
Uh-huh.
allegations.
Men who should know better, who do know better, but they do it anyway.
Well, these young girls nowadays
Yeah.
look a lot older than what
It does
they are,
not matter.
but they're still young girls.
It's not upon them to
That's
prove.
right.
It's not upon them to. It's upon the guy to make sure.
That's right. Exactly.
Bottom
It's
line.
his responsibility.
15 or under, you can talk to them for about 30 seconds, and you should be able to figure out.
You should. But I don't know. It's like Kelly can tell you, go sit at a junior high and wait for the bell to ring and watch the girls walk
That
out.
would be perverted.
Well, don't they look a lot older, Kelly, nowadays?
A lot
I
of
mean,
them
it's
do,
just
yeah.
wow.
No,
But they're still minors.
that's right.
They're still minors.
Federal authorities have arrested a man and a woman from Snow Hill, North Carolina,
Yes,
for
and
their
that's
part in the January 6th attacks on police at the U.S. Capitol. 40-year-old Curtis Davis and 48-year-old Tanya Bishop are the latest to be arrested for various crimes, including assault of law enforcement officers. Both were identified from video footage taken on the day of the riot. Since that attack, you have any idea how many people have been arrested?
No, please tell.
More than 1,230.
Wow. And
The list keeps growing.
when I heard the story about the people in Snow Hill, I was like, wow, they're still making arrests.
Yeah.
They're still working on that.
400 of those 1,200 are charged with assaulting or impeding police officers. Aren't y'all glad? I know a few of you were had a desire to go up there for that big event.
Man.
Several of them. I talked to several people at the time in advance before it happens. I want to go. I need to go up there. I just need to be there. Be the dumbest thing you've ever done.
I have some friends that actually went, but they did not partake in any of that other stuff. They were just out there on the lawn, and then when things started getting crazy, they left.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to go and partake, and
Just be careful.
just be careful. That's right.
You can get caught up in the stupidity.
I had no desire to go up there.
No, of course not.
I try to avoid those things.
No, I'd have been on the side of the police and whooping people.
Oh yes,
That would have been the way.
it's hard to believe that happened. What, 3 years?
3
ago
years,
now?
almost 3 years ago.
And we're still dealing with it every.
Oh, we're going to be
single day.
continue to deal with it.
Yes.
Supreme Court has indicated it will expedite consideration of a petition by Special Counsel Jack Smith on whether former President Donald Trump can be prosecuted on charges he plotted to overturn the 2020 election results. My goodness gracious. Smith made his request for the court to act with unusual speed to prevent any delays that could push back the trial until after next year's presidential election. Trump's trial in the election interference case is set to begin in March. The court has asked Trump's lawyers to respond to the special counsel's motion by next Wednesday, the 20th. Smith wanted them to require that response by next Monday, 2 days earlier. The court's next scheduled conference day for consideration of such matters is January 5th. The court's brief order did not signal what it ultimately will do. A federal judge ruled the case could go forward some time ago, but Trump said he would ask the federal appeals court in Washington to reverse that outcome. Smith is attempting to bypass the appeals court, the usual next step in the process, and had the Supreme Court take up the matter directly. I don't know that that's going to occur. That was just like, no, that's not the way things work. If the justices do get involved, they would have an opportunity to rule for the first time on whether ex-presidents enjoy immunity from prosecution. Justice Department policy prohibits the indictment of a sitting president. Trump lawyers said he cannot be charged for actions that fell within his official duties as president, a claim that prosecutors have vigorously rejected. So you cannot indict a sitting president. He was sitting at the time.
Yeah,
He was president.
He was sitting in his office watching the riot.
The prosecutors say, well, he committed crimes. we should be able to go after him because he was not a president now. There's nothing there apparently in our history that says you cannot be prosecuted for something that happened before you were president or after you were president.
And then you can become president and pardon yourself.
Yeah. No, maybe, could be. I don't know. I don't know whether that can happen or not. That's also up in the air. Who knows?
This is going to go on forever, ever. Tying up our resources, tying up our congressmen or senators.
Yeah. And now we're on the
So
verge
frustrating.
of another impeachment deal.
Oh, yeah. It's
Good
like,
golly,
what was it
Miss
Kelly
Molly.
said yesterday? If Trump was to get elected as he's taking his oath or handing him impeachment
Yeah.
papers, appear tomorrow. This is what it's come
All
down
right.
to.
So just because I lied on a federal forum a few years ago, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I lied on this forum, lied about being a drug user. Does that really mean that I shouldn't be able to buy a gun? Just because I lied on it?
Rules are rules and laws are laws.
That's the thought processes of Hunter's lawyers who have filed to have the charges against him dismissed. Here's what occurred. He lied on this federal form, ATF form, making a false statement related to information required to be kept by a federal firearms license dealer in one count of possession of a gun by a person who is an unlawful user or is addicted to a controlled substance. We know he got kicked out of the Navy deal, right?
Right.
2014 for use of cocaine.
Right.
So we know he's a user of illegal drugs.
Well, see, that's the whole problem. It's not his fault, Rayford. He's got burnt brain cells from all the drugs.
Biden was set to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax counts of willful failure to pay federal income tax. Why did you do that when you got the money and it's going to come back to bite you?
Because he needed it for his women.
That would allow him to avoid jail time on a felony gun charge. That deal fell apart, which was a deal that everybody that I know of said, what in the world are we thinking to allow that? That deal fell apart during his last court appearance. The president's son, back in July, then forced to plead not guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges and 1 felony gun charge when that deal collapsed in court. The indictment against Mr. Biden must be dismissed because it violates a diversion agreement that is in effect between Mr. Biden and the prosecution. That's according to one of Hunter's lawyers. In exchange for Mr. Biden giving up various rights, including his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent by agreeing to the statement of facts drafted by the prosecution and numerous restrictions on his liberty, the prosecution agreed to provide him immunity for any offense concerning his purchase of a firearm, among other offenses. Of course, the only reason that deal was offered in the first place was why? Because he was Big Joe's, what did they call him? Daddy? Big Daddy?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy's son. That's the only reason that deal was ever offered in the first place.
This is what we've got to choose from.
Yeah.
What has happened to America? What has happened to us?
I don't know, but most of them need to be seeing Kelly.
And nobody wants to run.
Nobody with credibility.
No, they're all quitting and resigning and retiring.
Yeah.
2024 we're going to have a whole new slate in there.
Yeah, and on the local side, we've got a couple of candidates out there.
Yes, we've got. It's been slow filing. I don't really know if people are waiting or just in no hurry. What I did find interesting is the fact that the Democrats are coming out and filing for different offices. And let me see what I have right here. I had to bring it up. North Carolina State Senate District 6, of course, our incumbent Michael Lazaro. He's our representative for the Senate. He's got someone running against him, Andy Morrow, who's a Democrat. And then in North Carolina House District 14, we've got George Cleveland, who's the incumbent.
Mhm.
And there's a Wyatt Gable, who's a Republican, running against him. I have no clue who that is.
Well, I'll vote for him. I don't care what his deal is.
And Carmen
So-
Spicer, who's a Democrat. And then in NC House District 15, of course, is Phil Shepard. And there's a Christopher Schulte running against him, who's a Democrat. He generally runs every cycle. North Carolina House District 16, which is Carson Smith, a Republican, which none of us know or have
I
heard
don't
from
know
him.
what that guy looks like.
Yeah, well, I
He
did.
used to be sheriff of Pender
Yes,
County.
but he's really made no
He hasn't done
appearances
anything.
here.
Who is he?
He's got
There-
a very small contingency of voters
Okay.
in Onslow.
There's, yeah, it's
Okay.
very small. He
Well, it's
doesn't
still
even
sad,
need to
though.
worry about us for votes. But Francis Lakey, who's a Democrat, Liz and Sneeze Ferry is running against him. And then we have our judges' seats, which are our judges running for re-election. And one new district court judge, District Court Judge, District 5, Seat 10, Melissa Stevens. She's a Republican. She's out of Duplin County, I believe.
I think
Duplin or
so.
Sampson.
She's the wife of.
Henry Stevens III, who's
Mhm.
also a sitting judge. So I like Melissa. I've known her for a while. Board of Commissioners, the only ones that have signed back up, is Paul Buchanan.
What? Robin hasn't signed up?
Not yet.
No, you did say yet.
I said not yet.
Yet.
And Board of Education, Albert Garvey signed up to run because, he was appointed. He was not elected. And Lewis Rogers, who was also appointed and not elected, they both have signed up to run. And then you'll have a Suzanne Long, who's a Republican, and an Allison Page, who's a Democrat. And Register of Deeds, Omega King German. She is our Register of Deeds right now. So that's been it. That's just on the local front. On the state front, I'm not even attempting to even list that until
Yeah.
we get December 15th because there's just so many people. I met a lady that's running for Secretary of State this past Saturday. I don't see where she really had the qualifications, in my opinion, but people are just coming out. Hey, I'm going to run. I'm going to run for auditor. I'm going to run for. What qualifications do you have? I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Which is a great qualification. Can you run a state based on that? I don't know. It's all crazy.
I'm over here reading about that meeting last night, school board, or I'm sorry,
It wasn't a school board
no,
meeting.
but two of the school board members who organized it.
Uh-huh.
And I just had so what I find interesting, and there's a whole video on here from Channel 12. And one thing they're saying that they're making comments, but I'm curious as to how they know this. It says, and as Channel 12 is saying, the parents say the school administration isn't allowing law enforcement to do their jobs. How do you know? Because they aren't, because you're not being told what's being done.
Exactly.
I want to know, and I just want to know. So anybody that has made that statement, and I'm not asking to be antagonistic, I'm asking because I want to know. What evidence do you have that the school administration is not allowing law enforcement to do their jobs?
First of all, I don't care whether you're a school resource officer
Mm-hmm.
with the Jacksonville PD or with the Onslow Sheriff's Office.
Mm-hmm.
The school system does not tell you who to arrest and not to arrest. They don't tell
That's
you who
correct.
to investigate and not
Correct.
to investigate.
That's
up
true.
to your boss, and that would be the sheriff and the police chief.
Correct.
That's right.
100%
Bottom line.
true. Yes.
So anybody that makes that statement better be able to.
And break it
That's
up.
what
Shut
I'm
up.
saying.
Shut
Y'all are
up.
making this statement, and this goes for both Board of Education members, Rogers and Todd as well. If y'all are making these statements, I'm not saying they are. I'm asking, what evidence is there that the school administration is not allowing law enforcement to do their job? Like, I just want to know. One, because I want to know, and two, because I have a grandson in the school system. So I once again, I want to know, is this just some blanket statement being made? Is this statement made on rumor? Is it being made on innuendo?
Mhm.
Because I just want to know.
It's just like
Um,
law enforcement officers said, we don't regulate policy. We're not here for that.
Nope.
No.
We're here to protect and to serve, and be here in case anything happens. But as far as school policy, they have nothing to do with that.
And it says there were many concerns raised about student safety, but it seems the problem boiled down to whether or not school administrators were following mandatory reporting policies. Once again, what evidence do you have that it's not being followed.
Mhm.
That's what I want to know. Like, what evidence?
They're not going to come on here and talk to us. You
No,
know better.
absolutely not.
'Cause we challenge. And when we come back from the weather break here, we've got a gentleman who was at that meeting last night.
Yeah, can't
Oh, I
wait
have
to hear
questions
this.
for you.
He sneaked in
I have questions
wearing
for
a fake
you.
beard and a hoodie, so nobody would know who he was.
Let's take a break, 'cause I have
You're
questions.
live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, your Christmas classic station.
Hello, folks. This is Preston Taylor with Piggly Wiggly right here in Jacksonville. We'd like to take this opportunity to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of the folks here at Piggly Wiggly.
Are you stuck scrolling endlessly looking for a good sci-fi show? Step away from the algorithm and discover a whole world of TV programmed by humans with Pluto TV. Star Trek The Next Generation, Godzilla, Farscape, Charmed, and The Twilight Zone. All for free. It's TV the way it should be. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worrisome thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less. Down home, down the street, on the Richlands Highway here in Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. 10 pounds or more fresh ground beef is only $2.79 a pound. Boneless chuck roast, $5.79 a pound. Whole Boston butt is only $1.69 a pound. How about whole chickens, $1.49 a pound. Family pack T-bone steak, $10.99 a pound. You get a 5-pound bag of breaded chicken nuggets for just $10 a bag. bag. How about St. Louis style pork ribs, just $2.49 a pound? And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, how about a 3-pound bag of California navel oranges, just $3.99 a bag? County Gold cantaloupes, $2.99 each. Zucchini or yellow squash is only $1.99 a pound. Large russet baking potatoes, just 79 cents a pound. Fresh jumbo green peppers, 99 cents each. Red Globe grapes are only $2.99 a pound. And you get 2 8-packs of the 12-ounce bottle of Cokes for just $9. That's 2 8-packs of Cokes for just $9. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things called Sliss, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Well, we're down to the wire now. 13 days until Santa makes his rounds. Have you finished your Christmas shopping? What? No, you haven't? If you have a boater or a fishing enthusiast on your list, why not do yourself a favor and head on over to Tideline Marine? There are any number of items there, from fishing rods and reels to lures that professional local guides use. Useful things. Ask the Tideline staff for help. The boater may need a new motor. In stock right now are American-made, American-power Mercury outboards from 15 horsepower up to 300 horsepower. Mercury is the only outboard currently made in the good old US of A. There's also a selection of Lund fishing boats, Aqua Sports Center consoles for offshore and nearshore fishing, and the luxurious Aloha pontoon boats. One even has a sliding board. Stop by today. You might even find something you want for yourself. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Offshore today, winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet, 3 to 4 near shore, dominant period 9 seconds, sounds and rivers only a moderate chop. Northerly winds tomorrow, 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, dominant period 8 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop again. And then Thursday, northerly winds kicking up 20 to 25 knots, becoming northeasterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gusts will be up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers are going to be Kelly rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
All right, today it's going to be sunny, a high of 56. Tonight, foggy after 9 o'clock, so please be careful if you're out driving. Otherwise, it's going to be clear. How can it be foggy and clear? Okay, whatever.
It's going to be foggy.
Yeah, foggy, then clear, and a low of 29, which means it'll be frosty. And it was very frosty this morning. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 57. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 32. And on Thursday, sunny at a high of 50. But Thursday appears now to be very gusty. We'll see.
Why did we have frost this morning?
Your roof literally looked like snow was on
Really?
it, Rayford, when I pulled in here. Yeah.
That may be
All I
because
can
I
see
painted it.
is I got my spray bottle out and boom.
I started
Within
my
an
car up
instant.
in my driveway, so it was
Yeah.
warm when I got in it. I like that.
It's 31 degrees right now at the air station.
It's cold. It
Just
feels a lot
FYI.
colder than that, just saying. And those poor kids, I could see them on standing waiting for the buses. It's just cold. I feel bad for them.
And that's another thing.
I had a nice little fire last night.
Yeah, we saw the pictures, didn't we, Chris?
Yes, we did.
I worked late.
Very warm.
It was burning real good. That temperature came up about 2.5 degrees
Nice.
shortly after I got the fire going.
Nice. I turn my gas logs on, but they heat up so fast.
Yeah, I know.
And I turn them way down low.
Mine will sweat me out
15
the
minutes
whole
later, I'm
downstairs.
turning them
Like,
off.
my
It's
gas
too
like
hot.
sweats you out. I love it.
Yeah, I just don't love the bills for it.
I just buy it once a year.
Mm.
They don't cost me much.
Yeah. I don't use them that often. They're there and they're ready to go in case the power goes out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. That's about what I use them for.
Chris Marks joining us now. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
So, what
Seems
an
like just hours
exciting meeting.
ago.
I had something really good to eat this morning.
I'm not going there.
Were there any peanuts or anything in that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kelly,
Yeah.
you can have one now.
No,
We
I
hit
can't,
it.
I can't have it.
We hid it from you.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case. We didn't know there was peanuts in it. And we're like, oh,
No,
hide the cookies.
Or Kelly will run away.
Yeah.
chocolate chips.
Yeah, it was
Chocolate
good.
chips are the best.
Yeah, that was really good.
So tell us about this meeting last night, because I'm super curious.
Yes.
First of all, how many people were there?
I would estimate 50 at tops.
Wow.
50.
Out of
50, and there's around 27,000 students
Mhm.
and only 50 parents.
Were they the same parents that have been going to the board meetings?
Yes. Yeah. There
The
was-
dissidents.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they all know their names. They're all friends of this collaboration. Because we were going home last night. And it kind of reminded me that I went to a shouting match on Monday night, and WWE
Yeah.
popped on.
Yeah.
It was similar to that. It was not a town hall meeting as I know it.
Right.
We all know it. We all know what a moderator is. Moderators moderate, they control the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman who was the moderator, they actually had an agenda as well.
Who was the moderator?
John Yop.
John Young.
Okay.
John
And
Yop.
he's run for office several times. In the
Um,
past.
Okay, I recognize
Yes.
the name. Okay.
They didn't really do a very good job at moderating because pretty much it was a free for all. It was the meeting was originally
Mhm.
according to the agenda, and I had no idea.
Mhm.
I did, by the way, make Channel 12 News. I was the one with the Dallas Cowboy white cap on that
You were
looked like a dunce hat.
incognito. You didn't wear the wig. You wore the
No,
hat.
yeah, or the nose, the red nose that
Or the red
Rayford
nose.
saw yesterday.
Yes.
But it was pretty much a free for all, and what I thought was kind of embarrassing. They invited political officials, the sheriff, Sheriff Chris Thomas was there, Senator Lazar was there,
Mhm.
Commissioner Walter Scott showed up, and they had representatives from the SROs,
Mhm.
Sergeant, I'm going to get it wrong again, Knowles. No,
Mhm.
Knowles was there, and a lieutenant from the JPD were there. So the county has SROs at all the schools.
Mhm. And JPD has
In the city,
in the city.
in
yeah.
the city,
Mhm.
and then for some of the troubled or the schools that really need attention right now, White Oak.
Yeah.
I believe Southwest might have been one of them. And
Northside.
Northside,
Yeah.
they have 2 resource officers,
Mhm.
and they also have a dog, canine
Yeah.
dog that can sniff out weapons,
Drugs.
arsenal, drugs. And it's sad that it has come to that. They have those as well. But Sheriff Thomas was asked a question, and he started to answer, and he was given some good answers, and then he was cut off by Lewis.
Really?
I would have
Wait,
walked out
what?
then.
What? Say that again.
Well, he was cut off because Lewis was discussing the North Carolina state statutes,
Mhm.
and he just basically interrupts, say, "Well, that's a good question for the sheriff, but let me take that one because I have right here."
He was rude.
Yeah, pretty much rude. Interrupted a lot of times, and he was reading the 16 reportable offenses that are set. The guidelines are set by the state Board of Education. So Senator Lazar was very clear in bringing up the fact that the state Board of Education sets guidelines.
Correct.
Those are sent down to all these school boards in North Carolina.
Right.
Yes.
And it's their place then to set policies, which
Mhm.
of course everybody knows. Our school board of education has policies. They
Mhm.
have a policy committee.
But the policies have to be based on the guidelines from the state.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody knows that. Like,
Yes.
Well, no,
is
not
it-
everybody.
So that's true. Well,
Generally
they
how it
should though.
works. Yep.
But that is 100% how it's always worked.
That's
Like,
right.
are they trying to, and what some of these people may not understand is the state.
That's right.
Right. But
Does Lewis think he can? I'm asking.
No.
Lewis, do you think you can?
Obviously.
For Onslow has to supersede the state guidelines? Because it's not how it works.
there was a key word that I kept picking up on because
me.
Well, actually, close,
Yeah.
close. It rhymes with that. We.
Right.
And a few of the comments were, "We are going to take this information from you, and we are going to take it back."
To
And
where?
That was never answered. That was never. We are going to take it back to. So my question going home was to Kathy: did he have a mouse in his pocket, or was he talking about he and Angie? Yeah, Channel 12 was there.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're in their pockets.
Yes.
Yes, we all know. Everybody
Yes.
talks about. I've had a lot of people talk. To
It's
me about that.
one-sided reporting
Yeah.
with TV 12.
A lot of people have now said they will not watch Channel 12 because how
Mm.
they've handled this whole everything.
There, in the time allotting, I'll hit all the pieces that I can, but there was bits and pieces that stick out in my mind, and one of them was the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And there was about 7 people that controlled the comments that were going on. So the way it was supposed to open was this: you walk in, you sign your name, you give them your email address. I didn't particularly have one.
Mm-hmm.
That you wanted to give.
Well, no, because Chris DeMarco doesn't
Yes.
have an email address
There you
here.
go.
But and then they gave you a sheet to write down your questions. So
So they got to monitor the questions.
Well, they would have if they, according to the agenda that Rayford has, we gathered the questions.
Mhm.
Well, they never gathered the questions.
So that means not everybody got a chance to ask their question.
Well, hardly anyone really got it. Again, Kelly, about 7 people I counted
Mm-hmm.
had most of the control of the conversation and the meeting. They were the parents of the 2 young girls who spoke.
Mm-hmm.
They were given 5 to 10 minutes, the 2 girls that were part of the incident. And then the shouting matches began between the parents towards each other, trying to come up with what they thought was going to be the solution. Eventually, we left at 8 o'clock. Started 6:30, was supposed to end at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
At 8 o'clock, a little after, it still had gone nowhere. It was just a shouting match
I am
between these.
reasonably sure you did not expect it to go anywhere from the outset.
This almost
No.
seems like a witch hunt and very political. I mean,
Well, from what I heard in the comments, some of the comments made that I heard, I think it was all about 2 board members trying to grandstand, and their whole message was we need to get rid of the other board members, specifically Melissa Oakley.
Well, that didn't work out too well for one of those individuals. The last election,
That's
so
right.
he lost then,
Yes,
and the
he
only
did.
reason he's on the board is because he got appointed because
Yeah.
he was the next highest vote getter.
Yes, because the GOP appointed him to fill a vacancy.
And that brings up some good points because someone shouted from the crowd, "Where are the other board members, Board of Education members? Where are they? Were they not invited?" Reply was, "It's a public meeting. They knew about it."
But you can't all show
you
up.
can't all show
It
up.
constitutes
No.
a regular meeting.
Right. And then someone said, "Where's the superintendent?" Well, Mr. Frank said he was invited.
But he was smart enough not to go.
I wouldn't have gone.
I wouldn't have. Well, I went to.
But I mean,
No, I
I
mean,
was
if I
listening.
No,
was
I
him,
understand. I wouldn't.
yeah.
I wouldn't have gone either. but-
Because this wasn't put on by the school system.
no.
This was put on by 2 people who, even though they claimed they weren't asked in the board capacity, in my opinion, they are creating a lot of division.
Yeah.
But it also seems like the same group of people, and you're right, Lee, that you said there's a video on WCTI's website,
Right.
of who's there. It's the same group of people that get
Yes.
up and safety, so to speak.
No. Well, and I'm sorry, Kelly. I didn't
No,
mean
go
to
ahead.
interrupt,
No,
but
no, no.
It wasn't because one of the ladies who was checking in people was jumping up and down so that she could get recognized, which she was. And she said, it comes down to this. We have 2 school board members that care. We have 5 that don't.
But that's an inaccurate statement.
Well, sure it is. But what we have to do, they're talking to the people in the room.
The 50 people. Okay.
Right. Is we need to get out. We need to run. We need to vote. We need to get these other 5 off the board.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like this is political. This is no more than a political witch
she
hunt.
made that obvious.
Organized by 2 board members.
Right.
One's running, one is not. And I think that statements like that water down their message, actually, big time. And maybe they just don't realize it or don't care. Or maybe it's just, I'm so full of myself, I just don't really care. I don't know. Question for you. You had said that Commissioner Scott was there.
Mm-hmm.
Did he speak?
He did speak.
What did he have to say? I think this is something a commissioner should stay out of.
Exactly.
The commissioners have no business being involved in another elected board fray, or I don't know what word I want to use. What did he have to say? He should have said nothing.
He congratulated 2 ladies, and he congratulated the 2 young ladies who were the center or start of this whole mess.
In other words, he didn't have much.
Not really. No.
Okay. No. Let's take a break. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom, 97.1, 1120 WSME, your Christmas classic station.
A family tradition of quality since 1986.
Down East is your local Bryant factory authorized dealer. Down East, Bryant, whatever it takes to keep you warm.
Down East, heating and air conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
Ready or not, the holidays are here and your calendar is crowded. So if and when your heating system goes out, Down East and Bryant is ready to do whatever it takes to make your home warm again. Because your friends and relatives are arriving any minute. Just call Down East at 910-346-4311.
Down East, heating and air conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
Coastal Bank and Trust thanks you for allowing us the privilege of handling all your banking needs, including personal and commercial loans to mortgage services. With locations in Jacksonville, Holly Ridge, Richlands, and Morehead City, Coastal Bank and Trust truly is a community bank dedicated to those we serve and is proud to be a part of the continued growth of Onslow, Carteret, and surrounding counties, and looks forward to meeting you. Thank you for voting us the best of the best years in a row. FDIC insured and an equal housing lender.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the upper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
The holiday travel season is almost here, and if you need automotive service before hitting the highways or just regular maintenance, Cedar Point Tire, the best automotive shop in Cedar Point, is here for you. Cedar Point Tire is more than just a tire store. They offer fast auto service from tune-ups to flat tire repair and all alignment and suspension services too. Cedar Point Tire. They carry all the major name brand tires, so they likely have your preference. It's simple. For all automotive service and tires, call 252-393-3188 or visit Cedar Point Tire, the best automotive shop in Cedar Point, 1083 Cedar Point Boulevard. Cedar Point Tire thanks you for your past patronage and wishes you and yours the best holiday season and a happy new year. Come ride with us this holiday season.
Bryn Mawr Jewelers, proudly serving the Jacksonville area with the brilliance you deserve for 73 years, invites you to visit them at 1136 Western Boulevard next to Sam's this holiday season. Locally owned and operated by the Queen of Diamonds, Lisa Lutz Keys and Luke Keys, look forward to showing you why only the finest diamonds makes it to their showcase, bringing you the brightest holiday season ever. In addition to fine diamonds and precious stones, you'll find watches, rings, bracelets, necklaces, charms, and remember, no one does I do like they do. Bryn Mawr Jewelers, Jacksonville's oldest jeweler, also specializes in custom. Bryn Mawr Jewelers takes the time to wish you and yours a happy holiday and the best in the coming new year. Bryn Mawr Jewelers, 1136 Western Boulevard next to Sam's, serving Jacksonville since 1950. Visit brynmawrjewelers.com or by phone at 910-455-2994.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back, and our guest in the studio is Chris Marks, and we're discussing this meeting. I don't want to call it an organized meeting, but I guess they had an agenda, so I guess you could call it sort of an organized meeting.
It sound like they followed it.
This agenda is quite interesting. So they talk about policy. The first agenda item was policy, and they allotted, it says 30 minutes, but reporting 16 reportable Center for Safer Schools. Then they talk about LEO engagement, a stronger SRO agreement. Well, the agreement is, that is written between the sheriff and the and JPD Chief of Police, and the school system. I don't know what's stronger. I mean, what are they wanting to be done? Security protocols, which I don't think ever need to be talked about at any point in time. Drugs and gangs, okay. Raise the age. Now, raise the age is not an LEO thing.
Mm-mm.
That's a state lawmaker policy thing. I mean, raise the age can essentially at times tie law enforcement's hands to be able to arrest because of raise the age. And then facilities to house juveniles. Well, facilities to house juveniles has nothing to do with law enforcement. Once again, that is a state thing. And there absolutely is a necessity for a facility to house juveniles, because right now, violent juveniles are housed down in Wilmington for the most part. So, but that's not, law enforcement can't do that as much as that becomes a state issue. And then this CAB-PAC policy, they allotted 40 minutes for that. Mental health, check and balances, communication with parents, staff, and students, and they wrote surveys. Well, let me tell you why I laughed off air about that. Raise the age took effect the Parents' Bill of Rights in North Carolina took effect on December 1st.
Right.
That effectively killed school systems' ability to do surveying per se in the school system. And it also effectively killed some school systems' abilities to provide evidence-based curriculums that involve pre and post surveys, which when you use it, like I'm using a substance abuse curriculum, for example. Back in the day when we were doing substance abuse in the school system, with a curriculum such as T&D or Project Alert, any of those, you have a pre-survey which the kids take before the class starts, and then a post-test after the class is given. And these are 12-week classes, 14 weeks, depending on what curriculum you use. Well, now, because of the Parents' Bill of Rights, which a lot of these people here were definitely pushing, because some of them were out there at school board meetings.
Sure, they were all about it then.
That has effectively tied the school system's hands a lot of times to be able to survey, because parents have all these rights. Same as with mental health. Y'all might want to go read that Parents' Bill of Rights and see what it actually involves in terms of what can be done with your child for mental health. So you can't have it both ways. The one thing you champion for has now tied the school system's hands with a lot of things.
Right. Well, Chris, didn't you say that they were demanding that the school set up some type of counseling service
Yes.
for the
That's
students?
already done. They have
Yeah.
they have a contract with several
Right.
agencies here in town.
Right. But their point was this: the school systems should not have guidance counselors. They should have social workers, social counselors.
Who's going to pay for that?
So
but,
that
but once again, hold on. There are several local agencies who have contracts with Onzo County Schools to come in and provide these very services with licensed counselors. But once again, the parents have to agree to this. It is not just done
Right.
because of Parents' Bill of Rights. Kids now can't just go in. The parents have to be alerted. So what if you got some parents who says, why don't my kid go into counseling?
this is from what I took from last night.
Mhm.
Again, a lot of the parents there don't really know all the facts. That
Because
to
they're
me.
bandwagoners.
Okay. Yeah. Because they say, okay, well, we want school counselors there, counselors,
But they're there.
but not school.
No, these are independent. These are counselors
Right.
from the community that are contracted with Onzo County Schools to come in and provide counseling.
But
So it's already there.
They want these counselors to be able to have, so a student can go in and say, here's what's happening at my house.
But once again,
Parents,
raise
hello.
the age. I mean, I keep saying raise the age because I'm reading the same. Parents' Bill of Rights has now changed how that works.
Well, the other issue is of the many that were brought out. And again, I think what I took from the meeting was there was a lot of people speaking that didn't know what actually you're allowed to do in the school system as a parent,
Of course.
what is set up for you to be able to do as a parent in the school system. There was a teacher there last night. She actually said, I'm going to throw my head on the chopping block. I'm an elementary school teacher. The first thing that my students learn when they walk through that door is respect. I give it to them. I expect it from them, and I do not tolerate anything. And she said, but parents have to get involved.
Yes.
And as much as parents don't want to say to themselves, look in the mirror and say, am I parenting my child, or am I being their best friend first, their parent second? That's how I see the problem today. That's my own opinion. That's how I see the problem. And Mr. Frank said, well, no, with all due respect, man, I can parent my child, but I can't parent somebody else's child.
But
If
that's
you-
true. But
if-
it's not the teacher's job to parent anybody's kid.
Thank you.
Thank you. Their job is to teach.
So some of these kids are graduating, they can't read because the teachers are spending too much time dealing with things they should not have to deal with.
That was brought up as well by a teacher who was recently let go by the school board or school system because I guess he put his hands on a student,
Which you cannot do.
which you cannot do.
You can't do that.
Everybody
anywhere.
knows that.
This elementary teacher brought up the fact that these fifth graders that she teaches have hit lists.
Yes,
Fifth graders
but
have
that's
hit
a
lists.
parent problem.
It is a parent problem. The fired teacher brought up the point that he was let go because he touched a student,
Which you cannot do.
right? But his problem was he was told to take a student's grade and move him up to a 40 so he could play basketball.
See, I do not agree with that
Then he was told-
whatsoever.
Then he was told to take it up to a 60. Now, at this point, Mr. Rogers addressed that. You were told to bring it up to a 60 so this child could play basketball.
I don't agree with that at all.
I don't either.
Nope.
I don't either.
I wouldn't have done it.
This thing called student athletes. Well,
Got Craven County in trouble.
yeah. Well, the reason that the teachers are afraid, they say, is repercussions.
Right.
Well, then that's when you have in writing or whatever, and then you go to the state or you file a lawsuit or you file a grievance or you do whatever you do. But because I don't agree with raising
We have to
grades.
go to break.
We have to take a break.
You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSNE.
Modern Exterminating 627 College Street, Jacksonville has proudly been serving the pest control needs of Onslow and surrounding counties since 1952. That's 70 years of protecting the health and property of our citizens from rodents, termites, mosquitoes, and all other pests. Modern Exterminating offers inspection without obligation. Being authorized to serve government quarters, Modern Exterminating takes this opportunity to thank those who serve and allowing us to handle all your pest control needs. If what they use don't zap them, they'll trap them. And if you're not satisfied, they'll step on them. Bug stops here. Modern Exterminating, family owned and operated since 1952. Call today, 910-455-5122. That's 910-455-5122 for Modern Exterminating.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbin Avenue in Swansboro.
C&S Paint, Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957, with 3 locations serving the Crystal Coast, has everything you need from brushes to Olympic stain and quality Benjamin Moore paint. Benjamin Moore offers unmatched color and durability, so the color will last for years to come. Whether a do-it-yourselfer or paint contractor, when you shop C&S Paint Center with 3 locations, you're not just improving your home or construction site, you're supporting a local business too. C&S Paint Center, Olympic Stain, and Benjamin Moore. Paint for everything that matters. C&S Paint Center, 105 Wayne Drive, Morris City, 6 Doris Avenue, Jacksonville, and 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point. C&S Paint, phone 910-455-0210. Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957.
S&H Feed and Garden would like to take this time to thank our customers for their patronage and wish you and yours best wishes for a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. S&H Feed and Garden, 4043 Freedom Way, Hubert, has been serving Swansboro and surrounding areas with garden and feed supplies since 1978. 'Tis the season to get your Christmas trees cut fresh in the North Carolina mountains and crab pot trees while they last. At S&H Feed and Garden, we are your one-time stop for your gardening and feed needs, offering annual bedding plants, perennials, hanging baskets, vegetable plants and seeds, as well as herbs, all grown on site. Don't forget, Christmas trees are going fast. Get yours while they last. This holiday season, stop by S&H Feed and Garden, 4043 Freedom Way, Hubert. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from S&H Feed and Garden. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, Saturday, 8 to 5, closed on Sundays. Phone 910-326-5690. Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all: gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
So let me track back here just a little bit. All of this mess started because of a shooting incident earlier this year, right?
Yes.
Not at White Oak High School, involving some White Oak students and somebody who was not a White Oak student. Is that correct?
I thought they were all white oak
No,
students.
no. Well, the person that
know.
was arrested for the shooting.
That's right. He
not
was
a
an
student.
older.
Okay.
Yes, he
He's
was
like 20 years old or something.
Yes.
Okay. So,
You're right, Ray.
Here's the problem I have with all of that. Parents knew about the buildup, the lead up to this mess, right? Involving some texts, some threats, or whatever, right?
Right.
Where were the parents? I mean, that day that it happened, why weren't they over there? Allow your kid to go across the street at any time, off school premises, off the protected premises, the school campus.
This all started in the summer
I understand.
When these two were having a relationship that I guess was referred to as a domestic violent relationship. These are teenagers, but it's domestic violent relationship. And it started at a football game prior to the school sessions even beginning, the school year beginning, where the young lady's boyfriend, whatever he was, had his friends watching so that no other guys would talk to her.
Oh, please.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
These kids in there.
And then it just escalated from there so that the the text messages were shared with the mother of the daughter. Now, in the speech that the two girls gave, I'm just trying to figure out, I know who got shot. I don't want to
The
use her
girl
name.
that got shot was not the one dating the boy
Correct.
with the message. She was the friend of the girl.
The friend of the girl.
I did know from the school board meetings. I pieced that part together.
And is it true that the girls went over and met two other boys who were sitting with them and they had guns and they were the ones that actually started the shooting at the other car? Is that true?
From my understanding of it, yes, that's
How are
it
these
started.
kids all walking around with guns? Like, what is happening right now? I mean, it's just
That's
not.
why they were unhappy the other day when they had metal detectors set up at White Oak High School last week one morning. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We were getting
were all
calls
unhappy.
about that. Yes.
They're all unhappy.
What are they unhappy about? That they can't go try to kill somebody? I'm confused.
Whatever.
There was some parents there that were saying that, yeah, I don't agree. I want my children's liberty rights to be.
Oh, stop with the liberty rights. People are getting hurt.
Were any of these other individuals arrested who supposedly had guns? Because they were underage.
They were underage.
I think they all were, weren't
and they were
they?
concealed.
Yeah,
Were they all arrested? They all should have been. Were they all arrested?
See, the biggest issue
Hold
is
on now. What about the
Yes.
parents? Where did
Well,
the kids get the guns?
I agree with that
You're
too.
live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, your Christmas classic station, and we'll be right back.
WSMU, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Ukraine's president is again asking members of Congress to keep up American financial and military support for the war against Russia.
President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Washington today at the invitation of President Biden. Zelensky is scheduled to meet with senators and House Speaker Mike Johnson before joining the president here for a news conference.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The Texas Supreme Court rules against Kate Cox, a mother of two asking for an exemption from the state's abortion ban because her baby is expected to be stillborn or die soon after birth.
Cox, thought to be the first woman to seek a court's okay to have an abortion since the overturn of Roe v. Wade, has been told by a doctor not having the procedure could lead to a miscarriage or affect her reproductive health.
Fox's Gernal Scott, her attorneys say Cox had already decided to go out of state for the procedure after needing several trips to the emergency room. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real Talk.
Okay, and we're back, and had to do a little quick Fox News break, but we're back in here. Chris, what is your take out of this whole mess?
The hour and a half of what was supposed to be a 2.5 hour meeting, they never even got halfway through what they called their agenda for it, in not my estimation, because the first hour and a half was nothing more than parents shouting at each other, agreeing, disagreeing, and then actually there was only maybe seven or eight that actually were speaking. The other ones were just sitting there because they didn't have a chance to talk. You know, the moderator didn't moderate. There was a two minute to speak. And at one point, the timekeeper had to tell a grandmother who came in late, immediately was recognized and got to tell her side of the story, and had gone on for like 10 minutes because she took from her granddaughter from kindergarten to now a junior at Northside High School. And someone had to cut her off and say, ma'am, it's 2 minute time limit. the take of it was they all wanted to blame the school system, the school administration, the school, certain Board of Education members. And one parent actually said, go ahead and say her name. I'm not sure if I should say her name. Go ahead and say her name. We all know who you're talking about. I didn't know who she was talking about. And I know there's two ladies on there. One of them was in attendance last night as part of the ones who set this up. And it was set up according to Lewis and to Angie Todd. It was set up because we can't have this kind of forum in our Board of Education meetings. We can't respond to you when you ask a question or make a statement. Well, and that's not necessarily true. At that moment of their 5 minutes that you're allotted to speak to the Board of Education, you're supposed to speak to the board.
Yep.
Not turn around and go and to the crowd be addressing them.
Correct.
And they fixed that by putting a podium now where you're facing the Board of Education members. And they were just trying to say the problem lies with our school system and the way that they handle things. That students should be able to go to the principal, the assistant principal, and then that administrator goes to the SRO. The SRO then takes the matter into their hands. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of students go straight to the SROs. Dixon High School has a very, very well-respected SRO there. And the children the high schools, they're comfortable talking to this man and tell him about the problem. The gist of it is, I think a lot of parents there didn't want to say, yeah, part of the problem is me. I'm not doing a very good job parenting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm counting on the school to parent my child.
But that's not their job.
Their job, you're right. Their job is to teach. And I'm not saying they're not there to help protect the bullying that's going on. Bullying happens at every school.
And I will say, I feel
everywhere.
like the bullying policy at Onslow County schools should be strengthened. And I will also say, I am one of these parents that feels that there needs to be a uniform policy of principals accountable for enforcing said policy. You'd see a lot of the bullying cut down. But, when you've got this principal saying, we'll handle it this way, and that principal handle it that way, and that one handle that way, it's chaos. And some things may get handled at one school and not at the other.
Consistency was brought up a lot last night, too. We need consistency.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah. And Kelly, there was some instance where they said, okay, well, yeah, this student can say I'm homicidal and gets suspended. This child makes a threat that he's going to kill somebody. Nothing happens to him. I don't know that happens.
I don't know that whole story.
But a homicidal statement is deemed to be a mental health issue. That's a 100% immediate reportable, and that. If a kid makes a homicidal statement, they need to be sent for an evaluation immediately.
To have phones in schools. Brought up a good point, the surprise check, security check.
Well, so it was 29 degrees, like you said last week. They should have been wearing something besides holy jeans.
There you go, holy. But that was filmed.
Mm-hmm.
If someone they were using the two girls were using their phones to film this going on. Now, I think the way it's read in there, you can use the phone during class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know if checking into school or walking into the school officiates not in class.
No, it doesn't.
But what was interesting when some of the things were brought up was one of the girls that were in the incident. She and one of her male friends, went outside the cafeteria and went outside the building, which is not allowed. So the assistant principal said, you're supposed to be inside the building, so get inside the building, and then left. Okay, first off, they're violating one of the one of the school policies.
Mhm.
If you know you're not supposed to be outside the building during lunch hour, and you're doing it, you're setting yourself up to be in trouble to begin with.
Yep.
And that's where one of the incidents occurred. So a lot of things brought up were domestic violence with the students, and I'm not going to get into domestic violence. That's not my forte. My forte is dealing with logic and facts. And the fact is that they're considering that domestic violence, and that in the summertime, before the football game, before the school, before all this escalated, then that, and the parents knew about it. According to the meeting last night, the parents knew about it
beforehand.
They didn't do anything.
Well, see,
They did not do anything. They're the parent. So
Well, my child wouldn't have been going to school.
my child wouldn't have gone to school.
Mm-mm. Not to sort it out.
And I just think I think the speakers, other than Senator Lazara, I think Sheriff Thomas being interrupted when he was trying to explain what measures are in place. The SROs do a great job. Let me repeat what I said on one other show. I went to every school in Onslow County last year. Our security systems are tight. You have to show an ID. You have to be escorted
I
in.
know that.
Mhm.
And in some cases, you don't make it past the front door. The SRO meets you there, asks you to state your business, and you're either allowed into the principal's office or you're not, based on what your business is for. It's excellent. Things that happen off school property, SROs don't have control over
they
that
do not have control over
unless they get, unless someone calls 911
Mhm.
and says
they're the closest responder.
they're the closest responder, and then they take what they're supposed to do as a law enforcement officer.
Yep.
And you do it.
Yep.
You did it.
But I want to go back to what you said, that they were, this is why I questioned the politicalness of this. When you mentioned that they were indirectly bringing in Alyssa Oakley.
Mhm.
See, it almost seems like this is a situation where you have two elected, well, one was not elected, two board members, one elected, one appointed, who are trying to get people off the board that they feel doesn't align with their agenda. And so they're using it under the guise of a quote town hall meeting. And you've got the same group of people, and because they're indirectly talking about her.
Mhm.
I mean, this seems like almost like a political witch hunt, so to speak. In my opinion.
Well, I think a lot of it's because if you ask Melissa something, if she doesn't have that answer directly, she looks it up and she researches. And every time those two board members start to talk about something or argue something, she comes back with the information on it.
Mhm.
And she's able to put that out there. And of all the board members, I think she is the one that is the most vocal about policy and regulations and rules. She knows her stuff. And she puts it out there. And she, and like you might say something and I might say, Chris, you're incorrect. This is the way it is. You get mad and take offense and go out and have a town hall meeting. And that's what I see.
But also, too, the other thing is, they're bringing up other things that, this just seems like just complete repetition. And I just don't understand. I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around the point of this with the same group. But where are the same group of people that, because I've talked to a lot of people that had an issue, they're still, no one's still bringing up, and I'm just about to bring up something totally off topic, but it has to do with Louis Rogers. He owes the county money. I'm a taxpayer.
Mm-hmm.
He did not attend several, a couple of meetings or came late. I'm sorry. He ended up eventually attending, but his excuse about one, I find very not credible. I'm sorry.
Right.
I just don't.
Oh, I agree.
And as a taxpayer, you know, with incredibly limited funds to the school system as it is, and so many needs, we need more teachers. Teachers need more pay. They need their salaries doubled. Bottom line, they do. They need supplies for the classroom. Bottom line, they do.
Yes.
And then we have, and what kind of example is a school board member setting that he's not paying back what he owes because he's thumbing his nose at it?
Well,
And the taxpayers, let's be real.
at a recent meeting, he said, I'm not paying that money
know he
back.
did.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to pay that money
It's
back.
disheartening.
All because in the policy concerning that, it says if you have a work emergency.
I
But
That's out there.
That,
That's not even close.
yes, that whole thing is just ridiculous.
Well, because if he'd have just checked in
Mm-hmm.
to that hotel and then got that phone
He had no
call,
intention of being there that night.
I would have had no problem with him leaving the hotel and maybe not attending that Monday. He was already checked in, but he didn't. He has no reason why he could not have already been at that hotel.
Or called someone in the school administration and say, I have an emergency, I can't go tonight or tomorrow.
But he should have already been there.
Oh, I know that, but I'm saying that if he used the excuse that Sunday night that he had a work emergency, why couldn't he be called the school administration on Monday morning and say,
Agreed.
I missed last night. I'm
Mhm.
not going to be able to go to my training today or tomorrow or be at the hotel tonight. And then maybe the school administration could have gotten a credit on those charges from the hotel or from the convention itself.
But there shouldn't have had to been a credit. He should have checked in at 4:00.
Oh, I agree with that.
And then if he got that phone call at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever time it was, that for him to go to Bryn Mawr.
Well, now he's just an assistant counselor, I think, or something like
Well,
that.
he's got his associate license. In other words,
but he works with somebody else,
and
right?
no, he can work independently, but he has to meet once a week with a supervisor who signs off on all his work. Basically, like they discuss cases and
Mhm.
you know, how did you handle
Okay.
this kind of thing. You have to do that for 2 years. He has to have
Right.
so many hours, and the supervisor has to report to his state board. We did this many, and it's 1 hour for every so many hours a week that he's actually doing
Right, right.
counseling.
My whole point was though, if he had been in Wilmington where he was supposed to be, Wrightsville Beach,
Right.
and checked in, and if there was a work emergency,
He could have left.
He could have
That's
left,
my point.
or maybe he could have called an associate and said, "Could you go check on this?"
But yeah, and all I'm going to say is that's not how it works when your client is being into an inpatient mental facility. But
Mhm.
that's all I'm going to say
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
It's not how
Because
it
you
works.
don't have any control over it.
That's
at that
right.
point
You
in
don't go
time.
in and tell them
Nope.
how to handle that crisis when they're in there.
That's
That's
right.
what they do.
You think if our medical professional that we use,
Mhm.
that all of us here use, do you think she went up to New Bern to oversee my surgery
No.
last
No.
month? Ain't gonna happen.
And no, I mean, it just, that's not how it works. Like when my client, I've only had a couple that have ever had to go inpatient, but the facility contacts me when they're about to be discharged and say, okay, here's we need to know when their appointment's going to be because they have to put it in their records. Here's our aftercare plan. And you set up as what is called an aftercare appointment. That's it. I don't go and go, okay, this is my client. This is what's happening. This is what y'all need to do with them. No, that's not what you do ever.
And that was all right. He should pay the money back. I'm a taxpayer. He should pay the money
You should
back.
pay the money back.
Oh, I
But
agree.
Yeah.
one of the things last night at the meeting where they were talking about assessment, the security assessment, because somebody was comparing that amount of money to the assessment that the
Irrelevant.
county paid, for $63,000. Sheriff Thomas has a full-time deputy, an SRO, who's assigned year-round to do school assessments,
Mhm.
and he does it year-round.
Mhm.
And and he reports back to Sheriff Thomas with the results. There was a question: where can we get information about the SRO agreement with the school board? Quick answer: see our attorney. He has the contract.
Mhm.
You want to see it? Ask for it. They'll show it to you.
Yes.
It's simple. But again, it's easy to point the finger.
But why do
It's
you
not
want to
my-
see it?
Because they want to know the procedures. So if I am a student and I'm having problems at home, and I go to the school administration and talk to them,
or a counselor,
and they deem it that it needs to be brought up to law enforcement. Is it up to the, what's the policy?
Wait,
we want the policy of, does the administrator go to the SRO? The SRO takes the action, or does the student have to go directly to the SRO? These are questions
that is so convoluted.
Yeah.
Garbage coming from them.
SROs don't always handle problems at home. That's not what they're there to do.
Not unless there's a criminal activity.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be a
That's
criminal
what I know.
activity involved. That's what I'm saying.
Do you call the sheriff's department and ask them how they handle every call?
No, I gotta go. I got a client.
We'll take a weather break. We'll be right back. You better hurry, Lee. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME.
This is Dwayne Silent Service Center. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Barker Electrical Corporation, located at 3163 New Bern Highway, Jacksonville, takes this time to say thank you for your past patronage and wishes you and yours a safe and happy holiday season. Barker Electrical Technology Corporation has proudly been serving the electrical needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2002, specializing in residential, commercial, and heavy industrial work. Barker Electrical Technology can handle repairs for existing homes, hot tubs, swimming pools, pool houses, control systems, and exterior structure. Fully licensed and bonded, Barker Electrical Technology is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Phone 910-358-2187. Online at barker-electrical.com.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call David Hall, State Farm, 910-455-0440, 1218 Country Club Road, Jacksonville.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Welcome to Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
If you are rebuilding, remodeling, or doing home improvements for the holidays or the upcoming new year, Williams Hardware, 3011 B Bridge Street, Morehead City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Give the handyman a gift from Williams Hardware, your helpful handy hardware store in Morehead City this Christmas. Williams Hardware also cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill. Williams Hardware thanks you for the opportunity to help you with all your hardware needs and wishes you a safe and happy holiday season. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridge Street, Morehead City. Open Monday through Saturday, 7:30 till 6, and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone 252-726-7158 for Williams Hardware.
If you're looking for a great deal on a brand new Mitsubishi pre-owned car or truck, look no further than Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 North Marine Boulevard. Because at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, they give it away and guarantee all their customers financing. At Bob Mills, there is no high pressure, no smoke and mirrors, or running back and forth to a sales manager. Buying a new Mitsubishi or quality pre-owned car or truck should be a fun experience, and that's what you'll have at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 Marine Boulevard in Jacksonville, because they give it away.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Yeah, we got 13 days to go. And Christmas is going to be here again. Oh, yeah, already. I thought it was July until yesterday when it got cold. Have you finished your Christmas shopping, Lee?
Pretty much.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, just a few things.
No,
In no hurry.
Did you get me a motor?
A motor?
Yeah.
I asked Santa for that.
Okay, well, you can hurry on down. Thailand Marine, they got one or two in stock there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hurry up.
I'll direct Santa.
If you have a boater or a fishing enthusiast on your list, why not do yourself a favor and just head on over to Tideline? There are any number of items from fishing rods and reels to lures that the professional local guides use, useful things, stocking stuffers, if you want to call them that. Ask the folks at Tideline. Ask the staff there for some assistance. The boater may need a new motor. Hey, in stock right now are American-made, American Power Mercury outboards from 15 horses to 300 horses in stock. Mercury is the only outboard made in the good old United States of America. There's also a selection of Lund fishing boats, Aqua Sports Center consoles for offshore and nearshore, and the luxurious Aloha pontoon boats. One even has a sliding board. Stop by today. You might even find something you want for yourself. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street, on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Winds offshore today out of the northeast, 10 to 15 knots, east 4 to 6, 3 to 4 near shore, dominant period 9 seconds, sounds and rivers only a moderate chop. Tomorrow, northerly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 4, dominant period 8 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Thursday, it's going to get breezy. Northerly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming northeasterly 15 to 20 in the afternoon, gust up to 30 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon.
And today is sunny with a high near 55, north wind 3 to 5 miles per hour. Tonight, patchy fog between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. with a low around 30. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 57. Wednesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 32. And Thursday, sunny with a high near 50. North wind 8 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 17. Little windy.
A little windy,
Thursday.
a little chilly.
Yeah, we may have some rain coming in for the weekend.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We have
Again.
enough. I walked across my grass yesterday.
Yes.
I was walking on water, literally.
I was
That was puddles out there.
out in my yard, like yesterday, putting the trash cans out, bringing them back in, and I was just like sinking from the mole holes in the water.
My hat's off though to Rayford yesterday. Brought some firewood. He was, I do it myself.
That's easy.
Yeah.
I took a bunch of it in. Thanks to Chris. He picked up the wheelbarrow and threw it over his shoulder and walked into the backyard with it, full of wood. Let's see.
If
we got a caller here real quick, like, I think I know who this is.
Good morning.
How are you, Joy?
Joy?
Good morning. I want to thank Chris Marks for being so involved with our community and being present at some of these meetings or whatever you want to call them.
Melees.
Keep us informed. He's our leader. And I thank him for what he does for the community because I know he cares very much for it.
Thank you, Joy.
And I thank you for that, Chris. But I need to real quick back up. What y'all were talking about counselors in schools and people were talking about social workers. I would think being a guidance counselor, you would have to have some type of training in a social work area. That would be just my assumption. I don't know that for sure. Also, if the students underage had guns, would not the parents sort of be responsible for them having those guns?
Whose guns were they?
Exactly. And
Unless they bought them on the streets
Or stole them.
or stole them.
and if they got it, let's say, well, isn't like if your child is murdered or whatever, let's say, and they're underage, aren't the parents usually charged also for the responsibility of what their underage child? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember all of that.
Well, there are some areas there where they could be charged if they were aware of the situation. If they knew the kid had a gun or was violent or whatever, then they could actually be charged if it was underage. We had the situation here a couple of years ago now, a year and a half ago, where a couple of gangbangers got into a fight first day of school.
Mm-hmm.
One's dead.
That's what I was going to bring up next. At that point, when that happened, that tragedy happened that day. Now, we heard some stuff about that, but did we have this chaotic mess that we had where no one was killed at this incident? No, it was terrible what happened. Don't get me wrong. I hate that anyone got injured, but this came on and had been leading up to this point. But let's back up to that incident at Northside. Did all of this happen when all that took place, when a life was taken? I don't remember or recall a bunch of people like jumping out at one another like this. Correct me if I'm incorrect.
Well, I want to tell you, it's the same thing that happens in Chicago. When two gangbangers get into a fight, one's dead, then, it's just another case of daily life. And people
It's a shame.
they don't get upset about it.
Well, and Joy,
just like,
Joy,
go ahead.
from what I understand, and I volunteered at Northside as an announcer for their sports for 10 years, and this is very sad that it happened at any school. My understanding was this occurred on the second floor, and it happened before school started.
Yes,
before school started. Although the SRO was there and quick to respond, and it also was gang related. It was gang retaliation.
Yep.
That sad incident where there was a child who lost his life, and that was brought up last night at the meeting, that the student who stabbed him now has to live with that.
Oh yeah.
If anybody understands gangs,
they don't care.
They don't care, for one.
No.
And
They don't. They kill their own.
yeah, their initiation, if people don't know this, is to go out and to hurt and or kill somebody. If you want to be in the gang, that's how you get your.
That's how you get your colors.
That's how you get your colors. And heaven forbid you try to get out of that gang. You can't.
Yeah, really. They don't let you out. You're going to be a goner also. But since that incident, I want to praise the Board of Education, because at that point, tragic happened. I mean, they did have implementations in the schools for safety, but since that incident, they have gone and tried their best to correct for this happening by what they're doing now, is how I see it. I see that they are working toward preventing these things happening. So I really can't understand why some individuals, I don't really know that they're really caring about what the situations are going on. I think I really do think it's political, but that's just my own personal opinion, and I don't have anything against the parents. I've lost a child, not in a school incident, but it seems like the Board of Education has gone and tried to do their best and are continuing to improve all of this. That's just what I think. And, I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I see.
I agree.
I have to agree with you, Joy.
I agree, Joy.
Joy, I agree. And if you were to view it, well, I can't view it live now, but you can go back, you can pull up WCTI's website and see the opening comments from the two board members. What their statements were is they wanted to have this town meeting to do this. And I'm staring at one right now where they're doing the verbiage for those hearing impaired. they're saying we wanted to set up this forum where people have a chance to talk and then talk one-on-one and comply.
Why didn't they include the whole board? Why did they go out on their own? Why didn't they say, look, Board of Education, let's have a public hearing?
But
and
they do
all of us
every
be
week,
there.
every month.
yeah.
Every month there's a public
the
hearing.
only thing about a meeting like last night, Joy, is yes, it may have been public, but if
one-sided.
more than three, if a total of 4 of those school board members show up, and it can be considered an illegal open meeting.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
And so when they were asked, where are the other board members? And one of the replies from a parent or something, well, it was a town hall meeting. They were invited.
Once again, not knowing the policies.
Yeah, not knowing the policy.
Exactly, and because I'm thinking, well, the other 2 are on the board, but they're also involved with this. It's just sort of like it's just really a mess.
Well, from what I saw last night,
I'm going to call it like I see it in just a minute, but go ahead.
Right. From what I saw last night, this is the same thing that has been said and argued at every board meeting for the last 3 or 4 months. So what did this accomplish last night other to get Lewis and Angie on the TV? That's all I saw.
Well, see, that's what I would see. And honestly, I do not know either one of these people. I have seen Lewis on your show prior.
Right.
And so I don't have it. I don't have any. There's nothing. I mean, I'm not out there. I'm not out there to whatever to those 2 people. But I just can't understand. I'm not saying that the meeting was really about the safety of our children. That's just how I'm interpret. And I might be incorrect, but that's just my own personal opinion. And I tried to look at it, but of course, I didn't realize it was not on live. That you have to see the replay.
My personal opinion, it's a campaign platform getting publicity without paying for it.
That's a good assessment. I mean, and being there, and again, I left after an hour and a half of it because it was just going on and on with the same old thing, and that
Going
is
nowhere.
Spinning wheels.
Yeah, spinning wheels,
Yeah.
going nowhere.
Yeah.
The purpose of it, and this is from the mouths, if you will, of Angie and Lewis's. We wanted to give people a chance to interact with us, to get this out so we can talk, because at a board meeting at where it's set up and it's structured. That's the thing. It's structured.
Yes.
Structured. Yes,
You
sir.
get 5 minutes to speak. Then the board members get to make their comments at the end of the meeting and try to address as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me personally,
I went back to look at several other of the recorded meetings of some of these boards, and it's just I don't know. It's just it just seems like it's not a teamwork. They're not working together to, I think, better our children or the school system. And I think that it's just how I'm looking as an outsider. I don't even have a child I have a grandson in another county. I think our board and our Board of Education are doing the best they can to continue, trying to put safety where it needs to be. And I appreciate what they've done. And I'm sorry that the other parents that this happened to, that happened, like I said before, but look at the time frame and look where the incident, and you know your child. I know what my child's done. I know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? There might be things I don't like about it, and I've even turned individuals in that I hadn't wanted to, but I've done it only because of the right thing to do. I don't blame the other person. I'm taking the responsibility. My child did wrong. This is what he did. He needs to be corrected because of it.
I understand.
Does any of that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
They want to blame someone else for. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I'm just sharing my personal feelings. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. This is how I see it and how I feel.
Right. Well, after our break, we have to go to break. I want to say something about this whole thing with media.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Joy.
Again, thank you, Chris. And thank y'all. And thank
Great
you,
welcome.
Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joy.
You're welcome. You're live and local. Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m., your Christmas classic station.
Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert takes this opportunity to say thank you for your past patronage and to wish you and yours a safe and happy holiday season. Being the oldest sporting and firearm facility in Oslo County, Flatwoods Outfitters has a long gun or pistol in stock, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice or to learn how to operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure of perfect accuracy to bag that trophy. They carry all the major brand names of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert can assist with that also. If a sporting arm is on your holiday shopping list, you will find it at Flatwoods Outfitters, 111 Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 in Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and constitution. Once again, thank you and happy holidays from Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
It's the season of giving, which means a visit to Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, right here in Jacksonville. Select a gift that will keep on giving long after Christmas. Right now, save up to 40% on in-store merchandise, including showcase jewelry, featuring pendants, diamond rings, diamond fashion bands, gemstone rings, and earrings. Need money for the holidays? Barnes Diamond Gallery pays top dollar for gold and silver. Major credit cards accepted and layaway available. Hurry and save 40% on in-store merchandise right now. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville. Open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday.
Merry Christmas from our family to yours. Barnes Diamond Gallery.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to Want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof? Call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
If you have a project that requires ready-mix concrete, whether a driveway, patio, livestock housing, outdoor kitchen, or something special for the holidays, Mixed Masters Concrete of Beulaville can handle the job. Large or small, Mixed Masters Concrete offers residential, commercial, and agricultural contract work with professional service and fast delivery. Owner Scott Thigpen provides free estimates, and Mixed Masters Concrete will deliver on Saturdays. In addition to expert concrete service, KPT Masonry does complete concrete finishing. So, for ready-mix concrete and professional concrete finishing, phone 910-298-6153. Mixed Masters Concrete and KPT Masonry of Beulaville. Proud to be part of the continuing growth of Eastern North Carolina, and thanks all our military families and all that serve.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back. And for a few more minutes here left in the show. This one's flown by today again.
It has flown by.
Good topic, good stuff, good reaction, and thanks to Chris for coming in here as well.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like Chris. I have noticed that there's one TV news that seems to only report the sensationalism, and more or less when they're interviewing these people, they're more or less feeding the answers to the people they're interviewing. Now, I know like the Jacksonville Daily News, they had a reporter that was reporting on everything, getting the whole picture of both sides. And this one group didn't like the fact that the Daily News was actually putting the correct information out there and started attacking the reporter on social media on a personal basis. Now, really, if you want to get your message out there, why don't you act like adults and let's tell the whole story? And like this whole thing last night, Chris, what was your take on this? Was this a good thing or was this a total waste of time?
I think it was a total waste of time unless you were the two school board members who used, at least one of them who was not elected, who was appointed, used it as a campaign promotion of himself, because he's saying that there's more we can do, This is the same individual, Lewis, who always defends Angie. Angie will make a statement. Melissa Oakley is the chair of the policy committee. Angie sits on that chair. At the last meeting and last two meetings, Lewis felt it was upon himself to defend or to read into what Angie's trying to say. We cannot read each other's minds. Rayford, I have no idea what you're reading in my mind right now. I can't read yours. Lee, good luck. I'm trying to read mine. It can't happen. Let me say this. At the last school board meeting, there was teachers there. Now, Lewis doesn't want, in my opinion, teachers there. He wants parents there who are going to complain about the school system. Let me say this with all my heart. I love our school teachers. They, along with law enforcement, are the two most underpaid positions a person could have as a career.
Yep.
They put themselves on the line. And actually, school teachers today, in my opinion, put their lives on the line
every day,
because these students coming in, Lee made a point about, or Kelly did, about how the students have changed in looks and stuff from years and years and years ago, whatever. The bottom line is this: a lot of the students now are bigger than the teachers.
Yep.
And, they can assault a teacher. And then they're supposed to face consequences for that. Okay.
But if a teacher defends himself or herself, what's going to happen?
There's a video of it.
Yeah.
And Rayford, I don't know if you still have a caller. I just want to say this. I respect.
Oh yeah, we do. We forgot.
I respect the teachers. I value the teachers. They have a tough job. Teachers, let me say this. If you're listening, I love you. I love you for the jobs that you do. Law enforcement, I love you and the job that you do, and I appreciate you both. That's me.
Good. Thank you. Robin, good morning.
Just real quick, I just want to clarify something. I've been listening intently to your discussion this morning. I didn't have any part of that meeting last night. I knew about it. Bottom line is, I heard some comments about, where the other board members or whatever it might be. I don't know, North Carolina general statute makes it very clear. If you've got an elected body like commissioners or board of education, you cannot gather more than 3 of you at one particular time. Because if you have a 4th individual attending the same meeting, it's going to constitute a quorum. And to have a quorum, okay, you have to put out a public notice plenty of time by your office to let them know that you are having a meeting of Board of Education. In other words, there's 4 or more of you gathered there. Plain and simple. You got 2 Board of Education members there. You could have a 3rd one there, but that's it. Period. And people don't understand that. So anytime that we get together, unless it's an announced public session or a public event or some type of whatever it might be, we will put out an announcement saying that the Board of Commissioners will be attending this particular whatever it might be. And you have to be very, very careful with that. And we're very, very strict from the Board of County Commissioners side on that.
Yeah.
The second topic I want to bring up so that people understand. The Board of Commissioners and the Board of Education members only interact when it pertains to funding for schools, period. We have a funding formula that we negotiate between the Board of Education and the Board of Commissioners. That's it. We don't tell the Board of Education how to spend their money, what to spend their money on, etc. The money is allocated based on our budget formula, and they spend it as to how they see fit to spend it and what their capital needs are, and etc. So we have no interaction with the Board of Education whatsoever. So if you see a commissioner at a Board of Education meeting, which is fine, they can attend the meeting, they can attend our meeting as do. Okay? But whatever that particular commissioner says to the Board of Education member is unofficial, and it has no particular merit to it whatsoever, because that commissioner is acting on his own or her own, and whatever opinion is rendered is that particular person's opinion. Anytime there's a board, anytime there's a need for board action, we have to have a meeting and has to take the majority of the commissioners to vote on a particular subject. So I just wanted to clarify that and let people know that that's why the board members were not there last night. Because it would constitute an illegal meeting, period.
Yeah.
And I want public to understand that.
And besides that, if a quorum of school board members or county commissioners were to get together off the books, they could vote themselves a pay increase. We got to run, Robin.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify that. I didn't want to take up your time, but Mark or Chris, thank you for going to the meeting and sharing your information. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Robin. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only carpet protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it.
At Sam Furniture and Appliance, they are proud to have been in the furniture and appliance business since 1965, and their goal is to continue to offer the best products and services to their customers at exceptional prices throughout the holidays. Whether you are furnishing your residence, beach house, condo, or office, year-round or looking for a festive look for the holidays, Sound Furniture and Appliance has the furnishings to fit any budget, style, and taste. Their sales and design teams offer professional and personal service with product and fabric selection. Sound Furniture and Appliance, 600 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point, carries name brands such as Sealy, Lazy Boy, and appliances by Sub-Zero Wolf, Code, and Hajizaki. Financing and local delivery is available. Sound Furniture Appliance asks you to join them in remembering all military men and women this holiday season. Sound Furniture Appliance, wishing you the best for the holidays and the upcoming new year. Sound Furniture Appliance, 600 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point, open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 6 p.m. and 8:30 to 5:30 on Saturday. Phone 252-393-8130 for Sound Furniture Appliance in Cedar Point.
Coastal Bank and Trust, voted best of the best bank for 6 years in a row, would like to take this opportunity to wish you the very best this holiday season and to thank you for allowing us the privilege of taking care of all your banking needs this past year. With locations in Jacksonville, Holly Ridge, Richlands, and Morehead City, Coastal Bank and Trust looks forward to serving your banking needs in the coming year. Happy holidays from Coastal Bank and Trust, FDIC insured and equal housing lender. Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, do you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSM.
Okay, and we're back here for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll be gone again. So I got to go get ready for Christmas. I'm going down to Thailand.
I was getting ready to say.
Did you tell Santa to bring me a boat for Christmas?
I did. He said, nah.
It's better than saying ho, ho, ho.
That's what we eat now.
Yeah, okay. I knew we were going to
way
go
back
there.
when.
All right, Chris, I want to ask you one thing.
Yes.
All right, the two Board of Education members that sponsored this whole thing, what solutions did they offer? What did Ms. Todd offer?
During my time there, she didn't offer anything. She didn't speak. The only time I know she spoke was after the meeting, where she said we wanted to offer this to the public to come and talk to us.
Was
so we
that
could
when
take
she
this back.
was interviewed by the news?
By the news,
Yeah.
yes.
So during the meeting, she offered nothing. How about Mr. Rogers? Did he offer any
He
solutions?
kind of was he ran it after Mr. Yop kind of gave up his role as moderator. I think Lewis actually took over the meeting and was saying, hold on. Okay. You, can you talk? Okay. Go ahead. You, and you, and pointing this out. Okay.
That was planned.
It was planned. So it was just a continuation of the last
couple of board meetings. Same thing.
Where parents got up that wanted to attack a certain principal, wanted to attack the
board member,
wanted to attack Dr. Collins, wanted to attack everything except one thing, themselves, the parents.
Take responsibility, parents.
Right.
Please.
Just take responsibility.
Yeah, can we move on? It's been months and months.
We weren't
and
going to
months.
move on.
Can
we
we
will
move
after
on?
next November.
Let the schools do their job.
That's what I'm going to tell you right now, because this is nothing but a whole campaign platform, and that's what they're going to use it as a opportunity to get before the cameras and the people.
Well, I hate to, I'm going to put it right out there. There's a base of people here in Onslow County, very smart voters. They see things. You might have a small group backing you. You might have signs made you're going to put out in the media again saying so-and-so did this or whatever. Go ahead, whatever.
You can do that.
Voters are a lot smarter.
But the other thing you got to remember is there are 27,000 students in our school system here in Onslow County.
That's
There
right.
are approximately probably 50,000 parents of those
Right.
27,000 students.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a few less because some parents have more than one kid. But anyway, we got a lot of voters
Yes, we
in
do.
here, and they weren't there last night.
Something like 124,000 registered voters in Onslow
Uh-huh.
County. So, yeah,
And there are a lot of free thinkers here in Onslow County. They're called independents.
they see what's going on. A lot of it, yeah. Because I talk to people every day, like, good Lord.
Yeah. Okay, coming up tomorrow, we've got Dr. Rosemary Stein. We're going to find out what's ailing the youngins now, if she's seeing anything new. And you got over your RSV shot, right?
Yes, I did.
So it's not
It was
hurting you
just
anymore?
About a 12-hour period, and it was fine.
And then right after Dr. Rose, we'll have another visit by Peter Wright. He's a licensed Medicare and healthcare agent.
Yes.
And he does
He's
a lot of
helped
work.
us.
And it's just because this Medicare season has ended, sort of, kind of, it hasn't, because there are a lot of people turning 65.
Sure.
And then Medicare is going to be kicking in.
And then you have a certain time period that you can make changes to what you change.
Yeah, if you change something, you still got a chance to go back for a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, and we will see you tomorrow morning in about 22 hours. Chris, thank you.
Thank
We
you.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
My
And-
pleasure.
And thanks for the wood, too. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1 at 1120 a.m. WSME, your Christmas classic station.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. House Republicans are expected to take another step today toward possibly trying to impeach President Biden. Fox's Alexandria Hoff in D.C.
The House Rules Committee is going to consider the resolution that would authorize the impeachment inquiry. House Republicans are expected to vote to approve it. Mind you, this isn't a vote for impeachment, just to allow for the inquiry and more investigative